So for many years, the most played sport in Australia was actually netball. And we know that netball never reached any heights in terms of being a product, being a marketable product. But it was the highest attended sport at the grassroots. More people played netball than any other sport, and it's always been followed by soccer, by the way. So the issue here, so once again, this is illustrative that grassroots doesn't really matter in terms of marketing sport. If grassroots was the indicator of popularity of a product on TV that you consume, then the A-League and netball leagues that are shown on television would have incredibly high ratings, but they don't comparatively to the NRL and the AFL. And to a large degree, I think the answer to this is that the sports that most people can't do because they're incredibly athletic or because they require an enormous amount of skill that the average person doesn't have, or they're incredibly brutal and require an enormous amount of strength and fitness and discipline, are the ones that are popular, all right? They're the ones that belong in the gladiatorial ring of Rome. They're the ones that at a visceral, biological level, people want to see the roosters go up against each other in the ring. The biggest roosters, the best performing roosters, and that's an instinctive thing. That's what ultimately is marketable about the NRL and about the AFL. These other sports, which grassroots level sports, like soccer, like netball, only then have salience when they are at an international level. So when they represent the absolute best of the crop, the best 11 soccer players that this country can produce against the best 11 soccer players that another country can produce.
That's exactly right. And if I could just, I don't know if we end this, if I could cycle back around to EA Sports for a second. What I've noticed is that the Australian soccer, because they star rate every single player in EA Sports, they're the actual players. They must have some sort of deal, right, with FIFA. And they star rate every single team and player and whatnot. And what I've noticed, the Australian men's soccer team star rating is not even as high as maybe it's probably as high as the third division teams in the Premier League in England. So not the first, not even the second, you know, how they get relegated from Premier to whatever division there every year, yeah? Not even the second. It's not even there. They wouldn't even compete at the second level. They will probably be competing at the third. So to your point, Nick, we don't have the, we just don't have the bods on the ground at that level for those particular sports to engage at that very, very high level that the teams are playing at, for example, in the English Premier League, right? Where they seem to be playing at a higher skill level. Well, you would know this. You're the soccer player, right?
Absolutely. And the Champions League, which is the league that has the top 3 or 4 teams from each major European league. So from the Premier League,
UEFA,
from
the
La
UEFA Champions
Liga,
League,
from the French league, they take all of the best teams and they call it the Champions League, and that is the Premier League in the entire world, right? So you've got eyeballs watching that from all over the world, because those are also the richest clubs in the world. They can afford to pay hundreds of millions of dollars to the top players, right? So it's absolutely encoded in terms of the viewership that you are watching the top gladiators of that sport in the entire world going up against each other.